Hi, I'm Devin Dean, Content Director here at ProjectManager.com. Oftentimes at the start of a project, you'll find your project team is absolutely stunned and feeling a bit overwhelmed at the mountain of work that they have to accomplish on that project. It's up to you as a project manager to guide them through that period of uneasiness, help them prioritize their work in a way that makes sense on the project. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how to prioritize the work for your project teams. Now, I described one situation where that project team would be a bit stunned by that mountain of work they have to do and they just don't know what to start first, second, or third. Another instance might be when you do give them the work, they might start working on things, but they'll tend to gravitate toward the items that they're most comfortable with doing, things they've done in the past, things that they think are easy, and they'll tackle those first, second, and third, which is possibly not the right order of things. Or conversely, they actually go after the items which look cool to do, things they're just personally interested in doing. Once again, that might not be the right order. In extreme cases, you'll have one or two perfectionists on your team and they just can't seem to get started at all. They're looking at the work they have to do and they're just thinking to themselves, how can I ever complete this work in the amount of time that I'm given? It just won't be a perfect, high-quality product. So you got to help them understand how to prioritize their work to actually achieve those high-quality outcomes, but in the time frames that you have, and by prioritizing the work, that helps them get there. Now, I've got 3 tips that I use when I find my project teams are either stunned into silence in the sheer volume of stuff, or they may not choose to work on the items in the right priority. The first thing I do is I take that project team who's sort of looking at things from their perspective only, sort of at sea level, and I rise them up. I rise them up to the 30,000-foot level in that helicopter, give them the big picture view. Let them see all the little projects or work streams that are happening in parallel to what they're doing and help them understand the different dynamics of the whole project as a whole, okay? When you give them that big picture view, they'll be able to then to make better choices on the work items in terms of the priority that they tackle those tasks. The next thing I do with the project team is I take them through an exercise to help them understand the dependencies that other teams have on them and that they have on other teams. So when they're looking at those dependencies and how they might sequence in time, they can then structure the work in the priority order that allows them to meet the deliverable time frames that other teams have from them, or sort of shout up to the teams that they're depending on, that they're ready to receive that baton, if you will, from that previous team member and sort of communicate to them when they need that work item and then prioritize their work, the remaining work, around the times when that other team member can actually deliver that item to them and they get going. The next thing I do is I sort of have them look at the tasks and look at and sort of list them in a way that's hardest to easiest, right? Then I get them to actually tackle the hard tasks first. It's human tendency to go after the things we know how to do easiest, that we're comfortable in doing, right? It's a happy place for us to be. We're comfortable in achieving that work, so we naturally just gravitate and do those first. Look, in reality, because of other dependency items or the time frames, it may be required that team member actually tackle the hard stuff first. My rule of thumb is actually to get them to do those hard tasks right up the front, and that way if there are any issues when they're doing those hard items, then you've got a bit of time in your back pocket to actually recover for those. If you let the project team members organize themselves and organize the priority of work and have those hard items tackled last, what you'll find is that you don't have the luxury of time anymore if there are any issues that come up with those hard tasks. And then you're actually in a reactionary mode. It may have an impact on your schedule, time, cost, yada, yada, yada. So get them to tackle those hard items first. With these simple tips, you're able to help motivate your team out of their little funk spot where they actually don't know what to do first, second, or third. I think by using the big picture view, the relay race metaphor, and the tackling the hard things first, you'll be able to help that project team get motivated and breathe life into your project. Use our software to apply these techniques on your project. Come sign up and join us at ProjectManager.com.